After a vital win yesterday against Sunderland, we all thought about the situation with Florian Wirtz. However, our fears have been put at ease as the player's injury is not suspected to be as serious as first thought and should be returning back to training very soon. We also look at the new information coming out about Harvey Elliott's clause in his contract. The kid just can't catch a break. And we also look at a left back that we are monitoring potentially and rivaling some other top clubs for. People, it's Monday morning. You know what that means? Gonna shake off those blues. We're gonna say bye to the weekend. We're gonna look to smash the week. It's the morning meetup show. Sit back, relax, and let's get into this.
Hi, this is Jordan Henderson, and you're watching Team Kop-ish.
Being free back again, ripping LFC till the end, so go on tell a friend. If they rockin' red, they're a 10 champions, be the best we come again. Kopish clean up in every region, elevation in every season. Catch up in all the fast match up in real rap and drifty go on tell them this is that, this is that. This is Kopish, this is Kopish. Reppin' Liverpool till the end, champions, we the best, come again. This is that, this is Kop-ish, this is Kopish. The main free back up in your screen, real ones know this the place to be. This is Kop-ish.
Morning, lovely people. Hope you're well. Welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time, then please do smash that like button, subscribe. And if it's not your first time, then you know what to do by now. Make sure you smash that like button and let's keep the conversation flowing in the chat. Want to first shout out to our sponsors, OK Jersey. Guys, the World Cup is on the way soon in the summer. Make sure you grab your jerseys before the World Cup, whether you're going to rep England, Jamaica, hopefully we get there, or another nation. Make sure you check out OK Jersey. Plus, they've got the new Jamaica kit on there. I know what I'm going to be ordering in my next batch of orders. Definitely going to be getting that. Definitely going to be getting one of the retro Kappa kits as well. If you know, from 1998. So make sure you check out okjersey.com. £15 all you have to buy, all you have to spend to buy a jersey. Not just that. If you use the promo code Kopish, you get a further 8% off. That is Kopish, no hyphen, Kopish for a further 8% off, people. Make sure you check out okjersey.com. Link in the description. All right, people. You know how this goes on Monday. Shout out to Liam. Look, I've survived half term, but I'm here with Alonso. Like, she's literally right next to me. You can't see her because she's, I've literally had to do the thing I hate doing, which is give her her tablet, put some headphones on her, and give her some snacks because I need to get this done before I drop her off. Alonso, you all right? Yeah, touch? No, touch. She said no. Yeah, so I survived half term, but the battle continues. But you guys know how this goes. Oh, hey, big up to Ryan in the chat. I ain't seen you in a while, brother. Hope you're all right. Big up to Josh as always. Ash, have you yet? I knew it. Ash, you won't let it go, bro. I made a mistake, bro. I know I made the mistake a few times, but I made a mistake. Big up to Liao, on time for once. You know what, guys? On a real, that is one thing we're going to try and improve on this channel. One of the things we really want to improve is our timekeeping. And we just want to improve everything on the channel. We want to hit the 50K. We want to eventually hit 100K. So these things that are, in my opinion, holding us back, things like timekeeping and punctuality and things like that, we are going to improve as well. Also, guys, if you didn't already check out after this video, please do check out the Premier League Roundup show. It's like a 15-minute show where I just went through all the results over the weekend, had a little dissection of all those as well, and the importance of some of those to the different teams. So please do check it out. It's a new show we've started. Really want to get it off the ground as well, guys. So please do support that if you can. Literally, the video is up now. So as soon as this one finishes, then please go and support that video as well. Right, guys. You know how this game goes by now. On a Monday, what's the first thing I ask you guys to do? A little bit of shirt association. I'm not going to go with this one because I think we went with this one recently. I'm going to go with a shirt that isn't actually that old. But shout out to man like Matt. The first person I think of when I see this shirt is man like Matt because he was the first out of the group to get this. But not just that. Also, he did the TNT Sport advert when we were in Europa. Obviously, it was BT Sport then, but he was in this top. Who's the first person you think of when you see this jersey? I think it's a lovely kit. Got the green, got the pink/red. I think it's a really nice kit. Who's the first player you think of when you see this kit? I knew you lot wouldn't let me down. Shout out to Manish says Bichetic. Liao says Bichetic. Josh says Diaz. That's a shout. Mr. London says Thiago. I don't really think of Thiago in this shirt. He did play in this shirt. Shout out to Liam. Says Nunes as well. Big up. Yeah, I remember Nunes. I think he scored in the Nottingham Forest game. Jota, RIP as always. For me, it's Stefan Bichetic. Liao, Salah scored the hat-trick in the red kit against Rangers. It wasn't in this one. Scored it in the red kit. Bobby's another shout. For me, it is Stefan Bichetic. He got his first goal for Liverpool against Aston Villa in a 3-1 win. That is the first person I think of when I see that shirt. So, guys, make sure you get your comments in and let's chop up some news. Before the game yesterday against Nottingham Forest, the team sheet was out and then breaking news happened. Florian Wirtz was taken out of the starting 11 and replaced by Curtis Jones because he was complaining of an injury. Now, at the time, we didn't really know what was going on. And I think it was probably for the best. Like, we had a game to focus on. We couldn't really focus on Florian Wirtz. I know it's as harsh as that sounds, but we had a football match to worry about. And I think he understands that as well. And it came out that he had some discomfort in his back. However, yes, Alonso, you okay? Oh, you want me to brush my beard? Thank you. Thank you. She knew I had an assistant in the making. She recognizes the process. She recognizes the process. Do you like that? Yeah, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. You're going to say hi to the people? You're not. What have they done to you for you not to say hi to them? That's harsh, isn't it? Can I have some? You're not sharing your food either. Cool, fairs. Can I leave you with the brush? Shall I brush it again? Yeah? Okay. There we go. Wow, right. What you saying? She's asking me why I have the brush. Thank you, Lee. This is the support I need. This is the sort of support I need. The beard is looking insane. This is a sort of not this. This ain't support, right? This ain't support, bro. As she's mocking you. She would never do that. It's my little princess. She'd never do that to me. You wouldn't mock me, would you, Alonso? She just smiled at me. She might be mocking me still. But yes, Florian Wirtz has some discomfort in his back. However, Arne Slot has said that the injury is not serious and is not suspected to keep the player out for long. He did say he'd be back training next week. I think he said this yesterday, so I'm guessing he'll be back maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, and hopefully should be available for the West Ham game. And look, I know we won the game against Nottingham Forest, but again, I think you even alluded to it as well, right? The performance weren't great. The performance wasn't good at all. And I'll be honest, sometimes, you know the saying as it goes, absence makes the heart grow fonder. I know a lot of people. Sorry, Mac, that is diabolical. The beard looks like a roadmap. That is crazy. Okay. Yep, you know what? A little bit of pause on the discomfort in the back. Yeah. You know, you lot are just on menace mode on Monday. Look, I know Monday is probably the hardest day of the week because you've just had the weekend and you got to get early for work and all that, or for the school run and other stuff. But to come on here and be a menace to me is harsh. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm used to it now. This is what you lot do to me. Crash out on Cal. The Cal crash out. This is what happens on a Monday. I know what's happening. The Cal crash out. But I'm used to it. But no, back to Florian Wirtz. I do think yesterday's game showed just how important he is to the team. And I tell you, he looks like he really misses Florian Wirtz when he's not there. Hugo Ekitike. And I'm not trying to make excuse for Ekitike's performance because Ekitike wasn't good, just like most of the other players weren't. In fact, apart from the defense, no one was good yesterday, in my opinion. The wingers were terrible. Ekitike was terrible. Thought the midfield was awful. So apart from the defense, it was a bad day at the office. But Ekitike, in my opinion, really looked like he missed Florian Wirtz. And Wirtz, I keep on saying, he makes us tick. He might not be getting the GA that many people wanted him to get because of the fee and all that. He makes us tick, and he really, really helps us in our transitions, in the way we move the ball, in the way we keep the ball. We had no composure yesterday. We were chasing shadows for a lot of the game. We could barely hold on to the ball. And when Florian Wirtz is on, when he plays, we're a completely different team. And look, I know Isak isn't back yet. I'm sure when Florian Wirtz and Isak link up, it's going to be magic as well. When Ekitike and Wirtz link up again, it's going to always be magic. Like, I always rate what we're doing. And Wirtz, for me, is the key to what we could potentially be doing in the future. And he's a massive, massive cog to this machine or this system. Now, the system seems to be broken on the slot. But Wirtz is, in my opinion, one of the first names on the team sheet, and that showed yesterday because Jones struggled in midfield, then he struggled at right back. So Bosley gave some energy in the midfield, but you still wouldn't say it was a like a 10 out of 10 performance from Bosley. Grav struggled, Max struggled. We need Wirtz in this team. Desperately need Wirtz. So the quicker he recovers from his back injury, the better. And hopefully, as the manager said, it is nothing serious. Right, on to Harvey Elliott. This one, I don't know, guys. This one really stings because I'm a massive Harvey Elliott fan. And I'll also be the first to say I do think he was maybe overrated by Klopp a little bit. I know Klopp brought him to a great level, but he was still a little bit overrated by Klopp, and he was often referred to by Drifty as the project. However, in Klopp's last season, he did really help us in terms of coming off the bench and getting vital wins and just making the game tick. And he really looked like he was going to kick on to another level. Then his first season under Slot, he picked up an injury very quickly into the season after having a really good preseason. You're thinking, derailed a little bit, but when he comes back, he'll be fine, especially given that Szoboszlai didn't start the season very well last season. You're thinking, Harvey Elliott's going to get some game time, some minutes. Wasn't given any game times or minutes, really. Then you're looking at it in the summer and he's thinking probably to himself, look, there's a World Cup year. I don't want to leave Liverpool, but the manager's kind of making it clear that I haven't got a future here while he's here. Obviously, the manager just won the league, so you're thinking the manager's going to be here for a while. If the manager's going to be here for a while, I don't want to stagnate my career. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you. I'm just, can I speak to... Yeah. Okay, thank you. Yeah, can I finish speaking to... Can I finish speaking to everyone, please?
Huh?
Can I finish speaking to everyone? Thank you. So you're looking at the situation with Harvey Elliott and he's thinking to himself, right, I've got to leave Liverpool. He was linked with a move to Brighton last January. That fell through. And then obviously ends up making the move to Aston Villa in the summer on loan with an obligation to buy if certain things are hit in the clause of the contract. Now, we were all under the assumption that the clause of the contract was he had to play a minimum of 10. He has to play 10 games for that clause to be triggered. And that clause would have been 30 or 35 million pounds. And we bank that and he becomes a permanent Aston Villa player. Now, it seems as though Aston Villa are struggling from a financial standpoint, which is why they need Champions League football so much, given how much money they've spent over the years. Their PSR is kind of maxed out. And if they don't get Champions League, it's going to open up a massive conversation with some of the players they have in the summer, such as Morgan Rogers, etc. But it's now been released that the 10 games are just for Premier League. So the Europa League games he's been playing and the games in other competitions, they don't count. So I just want to put that into context. Harvey Elliott this season has played a total of 4 matches in the Premier League, 1 match in the EFL, which he actually scored a goal in, and 2 games in Europa. He has played 7 games this season. And I don't even think he's completed 90 minutes in those games. Now, there are 11 games left in the Premier League season. For Harvey Elliott's clause to be triggered, he would need to play 6 of those 11. Now, considering he's only played 4 of the previous 27, the likelihood of that happening is very, very slim. Now, I'm not going to sit here and gas you guys up and be like, yeah, Harvey Elliott was definitely going to be on the plane if he played. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to insult your intelligence because I don't think that would have happened, especially when you got Palmer, you got Foden, you got Eze, you got all these Morgan Rogers, you got all these great players who can play in a 10. But considering how well he played for the under-21s and how well he has played under Klopp, if he had a good season this season, if he had a standout season this season, there was an outside chance that he could have made it. At least in the squad, there's an outside chance. But what really hurts me about this situation is, 1, I feel like Aston Villa have really done him dirty. 2, it feels like Arne Slot has really hung him out to dry. And 3, there's a lot of Liverpool fans saying, well, he made his bed, he's got to lie in it. I'll ask you guys, if you're a footballer and your dream is to play in the World Cup and you know you have 1 year to potentially, get that dream if you go and move somewhere, especially when the manager doesn't have any trust in you and doesn't want to play you, what would you do? Aston Villa gassed him up to let him feel like he was going to be like used there and made to do well. And what's happened? Completely messed him around. Now, obviously, we still don't know what's going on with Arne Slot. I believe Arne Slot's going to stay, unfortunately. And if that is the case, he doesn't have a career here at Liverpool while Arne Slot's here. If I'm going to be honest, if Arne Slot's moved on, I think we can do a lot worse than having Harvey Elliott in the squad. I genuinely think, and I know people will sit there and go, well, where's he going to play? Squad, guys. We sit here and we moan when we get injuries, or we sit here and we moan when we don't get signings, but then we sit here and also moan when I say things like Harvey Elliott needs to be in the squad. Harvey Elliott can deputise for Florian Wirtz. When Wirtz is out of the team and there's no natural number 10 in the team, I know Szoboszlai's played there. I know Jones has played there. Other players have played there. There is no natural number 10 in the team. And look, there's always conversation about if Salah stays, could he transition into a number 10 or rotation there? That's cool, but we cross that bridge if we get to it. In my opinion, if you keep Harvey Elliott, he can play the cup games. He can play in. He can come on in the 60th minute if we're winning the game comfortably for Florian Wirtz to protect him. For me, these are the things that constitute having a good squad. These are the things that mean you can do what you need to do. But we've left him hung out to dry, and it's horrible to see it, if I'm going to be honest. Like, this guy is a Liverpool fan. He moved to Liverpool at the age of 16, has been a consummate professional. I think even the Villa staff have credited him of how much of a professional he's been in this and how well he's been training, and he always is there and he's always available if he's needed. Now, I know he has a slight injury at the moment. I think it's a hernia situation. But I think it's disgusting how he's been treated. And it breaks my heart to see a player who gives his all on the football pitch be messed about by not just one club, but two clubs. It's a disgrace, if I'm going to be honest. It's an absolute disgrace. And look, I pray he comes back. I pray he has a future at Liverpool, because for me, he's someone that if he is actually given decent amount of minutes, I think he could really kick on and be a big player for us in the future. So do let me know your thoughts, guys. If it was up to me, I'd bring him back. I'd have him deputise for Florian Wirtz in the 10, which means that, in my opinion, he could be used in and utilised well in the squad. But you let me know in the comment section, guys. Right, on to another player that we've been linked with, and it is a left-back this time. Now, obviously, Kerkez is really kicked on, and I'll be honest, I asked a question yesterday on the post-match show, and I'll ask you guys as well in the comment section. Can you guys remember the last time Kerkez had a bad game? Because I can't. And I'm not even trying to do PR for Kerkez here. I don't think I need to do PR for Kerkez at the moment because of how well he's playing. But can you genuinely remember when he last had a bad game? Because I actually can't. And maybe I've given him the commentator's curse now. Maybe he doesn't have a great game next game. But Kerkez has been absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And he started off the season very indifferently. Now, granted, I believe the pressure of being a Liverpool player got to him. I think his personal performances weren't good enough. But I also think the manager didn't help with how he was utilising Kerkez as well. When I tell you this, though, Kerkez for me has been one of the most consistent players since the turn of the year. That Arsenal game for me was a massive turning point for him in his Liverpool career. We were up against it in the first half and he was resolute. He dealt with the situation. And in the second half, he kicked onto another gear and he pocketed Saka and Madueke. Kerkez has been nothing short of excellent. But it also draws up the question, because Robbo's contract ends at the end of the season. And I don't think we're going to hang on to Robbo. And he's a legend. Robbo is a legend amongst legends. In my opinion, the best Liverpool left back I've seen in my lifetime. In my opinion, the second or third best left back in Premier League era history. He's in the conversation with Dennis Irwin. I think Ashley Cole stands alone in that. I think Ashley Cole is the best left back in Premier League era. Between him and Dennis Irwin for second place and third place, obviously. He's that good. And he's been our best. Shout out to Liao. I think he's done more than ever in the Premier League era, personally. Ever was a beast. Ever was a baller. But for me, Andrew Robertson sits second or third in the Premier League era best left backs conversation. But it draws up the question, if Andrew Robertson does go, as it looks like he's going to, what happens with the left back position? Because even though Kirk has been brilliant, we also know we can't just have one left back. You have to have two players for each position in this day and age. Right. Alonso, stop shouting at me. Say please. Say, okay. What'd you say? Listen, Alonso, don't mug me off, please, yo. Why is she shouting at me like this, man? As I was saying before, I was really interrupted. We can't just have one player for left back. But it draws a question: how do you go and get a left back when Kirk is playing so well? What type of profile do you get now? If again, guys, I'm greedy. I want the best of the best. But I've also sat here and I've said I wouldn't mind us getting a Schlotterbeck who can play left back sometimes, and then promote Owen Beck or even Luke Chambers. I do think we could promote one of these youth players. However, let's be honest. All right, stop shouting. But I don't think Slot's going to promote any of these guys. Now, if it was up to me, my first choice for left back would be Lewis Hall. I think I've made that pretty clear. I think Lewis Hall has the potential to be one of the best left backs in Premier League era history if he stays in the Premier League and he stays injury free. But I also understand getting him out of Newcastle will be bloody difficult. In fact, let me check Lewis Hall's contract situation. This is going to be painful. I'm just going to still do it though because I'm an idiot. Let's have a look. Lewis Hall's contract. So he signed in 2023. Signed for 28 million plus 30. So it could raise it up to 35 million. So he's currently on contract until it doesn't even have an expiry date. That's weird. Why can't I find his contract? He signed in 2023, right? If he signed in 2023, I'm guessing it was a 5-year deal. So I'm guessing 2020. No, it says no. He signed a deal with Chelsea in 20. So he signed to Newcastle in 2024. Yeah, he ain't going anywhere. He ain't going anywhere. For me, though, he'd be the first choice. But can you sell him the project when Kirk is playing so well? How would Kirkes feel if that were to happen? But then we've also been linked with someone called Nathaniel Brown, the Eintracht Frankfurt left back, who, in my opinion, has been one of the standout performances in the Bundesliga this season. A very good left back, good defensively, had a very good battle with Lamine Yamal this season, and gave a good account of himself. Good at attacking, decent at defending. But the question is, if we're in for him, if Man United and Chelsea are also in for him, does he come to Liverpool? Now, Chelsea, you have the same situation a little bit with Cucurella there as we do with Kirkes. Man United, I think he walks into that team. I think Dorgu's good, but Dorgu's been playing on the wing. I think Nathaniel Brown is better than this version of Luke Shaw. So maybe if Man United get Champions League, then he'd probably be the first choice destination there. Chelsea have Hato too. Shout out to Liao. Although Hato's career is kind of stagnated a little bit, I still think Hato's a player we should have gone for, but we didn't. But I look at Nathaniel Brown and I look at that. I look at it as a left back who is very similar to Kirkes. I think he's probably a bit more technically efficient than Kirkes. I think he probably has a better cross and I think he has a better shot. But I think Kirkes is probably better in 1v1 defending. But attacking wise, Nathaniel Brown probably edges it for me. But I just don't know if he's a player we can entice or sell a project to. Now, granted, that would come down to the hierarchy. But if we were able to sign a Nathaniel Brown, I would be over the moon with it. As I said, Lewis Hall's my first choice. I'd be over the moon as well if we promoted Owen Beck. I still think that the kid's got a future here, but I know a lot of people don't really rate him like that. I know a lot of people don't really rate our academy system like that. But we'll see what happens there. But I do think the left back situation is something that we need to address and address it quite quickly in the summer so it doesn't drag on, because we can't go into next season with it just being Kirkes there, because I think that would be a bad look. Kostas Tsimikas, a couple of you guys are saying, for me, I think the time is right to sell Tsimikas. I know he's not been doing great at Roma and all of that. I don't think he was great in his last season with us before he moved on loan, and I don't see him improving. So for me, I would move Tsimikas on. Nothing against Tsimikas. Never had anything against Tsimikas. I just think we could get someone better now and someone a bit younger and someone who would push Kirkes more. Because I genuinely believe if Tsimikas is here, I don't think Kirkes feels the pressure of losing his spot if he underperforms or gets injured or anything like that. So I want that competition throughout the team. I want that competition where players look over their shoulder and go, I have to perform, because if I don't, then I'm in trouble. And I want that player who's not in the starting 11 to go, you know what? When I get my chance, I'm going to take it with both hands, and I'm going to make it really difficult for the manager to make a decision. So, and on that, also Rio Engamoa. I'm gonna say something that I know is gonna trigger a lot of people, but I'm just gonna say this because I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Big up to Uncle Rod's in the building. Big up yourself, Uncle Rod's. Hope you and the family are blessed, brother. I understand to an extent where Slot's coming from, in the sense of he doesn't want to overburden Rio Engamo, who's just turned 17 at the beginning of this season. But at the same time, I will also say this: if you're good enough, you're old enough to play. And I'm not saying he should be getting all the games. I'm not saying he should be starting every single game. But what I do think it would do is give Salah and Gakpo a kick up the backside if he were to start games. And it would also give him the confidence to let him know that the manager does trust me and that I can start games and I'm good enough to start games. Right now, Rio and Gamora should be a start for Liverpool. And that's as much as that is praise for Rio and his performances this season, his maturity. It's also an indictment on Salah and Gakpo, but he should be starting games. And I'm sick of hearing Slot go, oh, well, he started more games than any other 17 or 18-year-old. Okay, I don't care, Slot. Put him in a team and get him starting, because the kid has something about him. He's got the potential to be really, really special, but he needs game times, and he needs game times now. So people, look, I'm going to wrap up there. We will be live later on this evening for the Monday Night Live show around 9:30, so make sure you tune in there. Until then, guys, please do make sure you check out the Prem Roundup video. In fact, what I'll do is I'll actually put a link to that video in the chat now, so you guys can watch it straight after this, because I'd love to get your feedback on that, what you think could be done to improve it, what you think is good about the show, what you think is not so good about the show. So let me get that video. And let me see who's live as well, so we can redirect as well. One sec, people. All right, so I will be on Hassam's show, but as you can see, and well, as you can't see, as you can hear, I've got Alonso with me, so I've got to drop Alonso to where she needs to go and then get back. So I might be slightly late for the show, but I will be there with Hassam at 12 p.m. as well. Or well, I won't be there dead on time, but I'll be involved in that show today. Big up Hassam, big up Tom. Who's live? Let me see who's live that I can redirect to. What we're using as the raid. Hey, my brother Enz is live, so I'll be redirecting to Enz. So guys, as soon as this video finishes, you'll be redirected to Enz, and then the link is in the chat for the Prem Roundup show that I did last night. What should we use to raid Enz's show? Shall we? What should we say? Beard Gang. We're gonna raid Enz's show, and we're gonna use Beard. Oh, I've just spelled it wrong. Oh, what a mess. Beard Gang. We're going to use Beard Gang, people. That's what we're going to use. So make sure, big up yourself, John Conway. Make sure you go over to Enz's channel now. Make sure you check out the Prem Roundup show. People, it's been a pleasure as always. Hopefully you've enjoyed this show as much as I've enjoyed speaking to you guys. Please do smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Make sure you check out okjersey.com. £15 all you got to spend to buy a jersey of your club or nation's choice. And you get a further 8% off with the promo code Kopish. People, till I see you a bit later. Stay safe, stay blessed. My name's Callum with Kopish. All right, people. Take care.